Very good. Okay, guys, so before we go any further, and I forget to talk about this, a couple reminders. Number one, if you put your email in the chat section in the last week to attend Aaron Kaufman's KW Effect, that is this morning from 10 to 12, look for an email confirmation on that with the link so that you could be a part of that. And if you haven't registered, it's not too late. Just drop your email in the chat section and we'll help you get that done. The second thing that I want to share with you is starting on Monday, I am going to move this call to 8 a.m. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I want to give you guys an opportunity to get on the phone and start making lead generation calls earlier. I hope that's not a conflict with anybody. I really gave this a lot of thought, and I realize there's some of you that maybe 8:30 is a better time for it. I'm sorry if that's the case. We started out at 8:30 because James Shaw had his call at 8, and I didn't want to compete with that call. So this is going to move to 8 a.m. on Monday. Again, this call is never going away. For those of you who want to continue, I'll be here every Monday, or every day, excuse me, at 8 a.m. All right, so we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday, and we're going to talk about mindset and skill set. First of all, let's go to our mindset quotes. I believe that repetition is the mother of learning. So if you're hearing this and you're thinking, John, how many times are you going to share this with us? A lot. All right, there you go. Our choices have made us what we are today. Our thinking creates a pathway to success or failure. Outside influences are not responsible for where you are in life. Next time you find yourself in a position that you're not necessarily happy about, stop and think, what was I thinking that caused me to take the actions that I took? Remember point 4, programming leads to thoughts, thoughts lead to feelings, feeling leads to actions, action leads to results, results lead back to programming. So what was I thinking that caused me to feel the way that I felt in order to act the way that I act in order to end up right here? And the good news is you're responsible. That's good news because you could do something about that. If it's somebody else's fault, well, then you're stuck. So outside influences are not responsible for where we are in life. You alone have chosen the path to your present destination. So page 71, the 9 ways a millionaire real estate agent thinks. And we didn't get past number 1 yesterday, so we're gonna get a little bit further today. Think powered by a big why. And I shared my big why story with you yesterday. If you weren't on the call, it's on YouTube. If you want to go watch that, that's cool. Think big goals and big models. Start out by building an 8-lane highway. Don't build a 2-lane highway and then find out, uh-oh, this isn't enough. Now we have traffic jams and we're going to have to build a bigger road. Start out by building an 8-lane highway. Think big. In other words, if your goal is to gross $500,000 a year and your average income or your average commission check is $10,000, then that's 50 closed transactions. What are the models that you're going to have to put in place in order to close 50 deals? What leverage are you going to need? Who are you going to need to be in business with? What does that person look like? And what systems and tools are you going to need in order to sell 50 homes? Start out with big models. Don't create it as you go. So think big goals, think big models. Think possibilities. Too many people make decisions based on what is. Don't make decisions based on what is. Think what if. What are the possibilities? How big could you take this? How big could you grow this business? What's possible? Think action. Now, my favorite author, Andy Andrews, let me share with you what Andy has to say when it comes to action. And I'm just reading from my torn up version, you can tell I've read it a lot, of Mastering the 7 Decisions by Andy Andrews. And these are lessons that come from The Traveler's Gift. And if you've never read The Traveler's Gift, please read that book. One of the best books I've ever read. I've probably read it more than 40 times. Now, beginning today, I will create a new future by creating a new me. No longer will I dwell in a pit of despair, moaning over squandered time and lost opportunity. I am a person of action. I am energetic. I move quickly. I am a person of action. I inspire others with my activity. I am a leader. Leading is doing. Corey Edwards is a leader. Corey Edwards is a leader who leads by doing. Now, here's what Andy has to say about being that type of leader. To lead, I must move forward. Many people move out of the way for a person on the run. Others are caught up in their wake. My activity will create a wave of success for people who follow me. My activity will be consistent. This will install confidence in my leadership. As a leader, I have the ability to encourage and inspire others to greatness. An army of sheep led by a lion will defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. A person who moves neither left nor right is destined for mediocrity. Successful people make their decisions quickly and change their minds slowly. For too long, fear has outweighed my desire to make things better for my family. Never again. I have exposed fear as a vapor, an imposter who never had any power over me in the first place. I do not, oh, I love this part. I really love this part. I do not fear opinion, gossip, or the idle chatter of monkeys, for all are the same to me. I do not fear failure, for in my life, failure is a myth. Failure only exists for the person who quits. I do not quit. The title of the book is Mastering the 7 Decisions. And the author is Andy Andrews, and these are lessons from the book, The Traveler's Gift. If you're going to get this book, read The Traveler's Gift first, and then read this book. All right, back to Gary Keller. Think without fear. Think without fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear is also a good indication that you're thinking big. If you don't feel fear, then you're probably not thinking big enough. Your goals, your dreams, your desires should be so big that they scare you. And by the way, between you and anything great in life, fear is going to be in between you and that goal. And there's no way around it. You can't go over it. You can't go under it. You have to go through it. Faith is not the absence of fear. Faith is having fear, feeling fear, and doing it anyways. By the way, fear and faith, they're the same. Faith is the belief in something that you cannot see and the belief in a future that you do not have. In other words, faith is the belief that something good is going to happen. Fear is also faith. Fear is just faith that something bad is going to happen. Mm-hmm. By the way, positive affirmations, negative affirmations, both work. Unfortunately, negative affirmations work better than positive affirmations do because we are wired to believe our negative affirmations. One more thing, we think in pictures. For those of you who have children, be super careful about this. So if you have a child who is emptying dishes from the dishwasher and you say, be careful not to break the dishes, the picture that you just drew is break the dishes. If I'm a baseball coach and I walk out to the mound in the 9th inning, 2 out, and the bases loaded, and I tell the pitcher, don't throw it over the middle of the plate, guess what the pitcher is going to do?
Throw it over the plate.
Throw it over the middle of the plate. Because I just drew a picture, throw it over the middle of the plate. We're going to accept that negative vision before we'll accept the positive vision, because that's how we're wired. That's the world that we live in. It's just a fact. Think progress. We are not judged by the number of times we fail, but by the number of times we succeed. And the number of times we succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times we could fail and keep trying. So as long as you continue to make progress, you can't fail. Every day in every way, you get better and better. Just keep going forward. If you saw the movie Dory, just keep swimming. Okay, those of you who didn't see Dory, I'm a Disney freak, so whatever. Think competitively and strategically. Play chess, not checkers. Always think 3 steps ahead. When I'm having a conversation with someone, I've got my scripts so well internalized that I'm asking questions based on what's going to happen 3 questions from now. Think competitively and think strategically. Think standards. If I have a team like Corey does, it's all about standards and systems. And there's a standard for everything, including answering the phone. Phone rings 3 times, answer it. You don't answer it on the first ring, don't answer it on the second ring, you answer it on the 3rd ring. It's a standard. Answer the phone exactly the same way every time. It's a standard. There's a standard for returning voicemails. There's a standard for returning emails. There's a standard for everything we do. Create standards in your business. And if you're a team of 1, create standards for yourself. And lastly, think service. Ken Blanchard wrote Raving Fans, great book. And the whole idea behind Raving Fans is not that you do everything. It's that you determine what you're going to do, and then you do it better than anybody else. When you do that, you are creating raving fans. And raving fans become advocates who refer business to you over and over again in the future. Look at it like this. They're a part of your sales team. So if I can create a half a dozen raving fans, I've just added 6 people to my team. Every time, here, script. Corey, my goal at the end of our transaction is that you are so pleased with the service that I've provided, that I've met all your goals and exceeded all your expectations to the point that you would never buy or sell another home again without talking to me first. And if you knew of somebody who was going to buy or sell a home almost out of a sense of obligation to them, you would tell them you need to talk to John Dietz before you buy a home, before you sell a home. If that's how you feel at the end of our transaction, then I've achieved my goal. In other words, I've just told Corey what a raving fan looks like, and I've told him how I'm going to know if he's a raving fan by the time we close that deal. All right, take yourselves off mute, raise your hand, talk to me, ask questions.
John, I've got a couple of thoughts, a couple of questions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you were telling us earlier to think in pictures, and you were talking about not to say something negative because that essentially becomes a reality.
Yeah.
So how would we do it to get the outcome that we desire?
Yeah. You know, it's interesting because for those of you who, well, let me just say it's a biblical principle. A biblical principle is to speak to things that are not as though they were, right? You guys didn't know affirmations came from the Bible, right? I mean, when you think about it, that's how God created the earth. Let there be light. There wasn't light. Now, if it was you and I, we'd go out and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe how dark it is. It's never going to be light. Speak to things that are not as though they are. Now, I'll give you an example of a negative picture, Michael. I trip, I stumble, and I say, oh my gosh, I'm so clumsy. Well, guess what picture I just painted? I'm clumsy. I can't believe I lost that listing. I just can't get listings above $500,000. Well, I just created a picture in my mind that people with properties over $500,000 are never going to hire me. When I make a mistake, my response is going to be, that's not like me. I'm blank, and I'm blank is a positive comment. I'm going to erase the negative picture and replace it with a positive picture. Why can't I lose weight? Negative picture. I am healthy and strong at my ideal weight of blank. Set your goals in future tense positive affirmation form. In other words, don't set a goal to lose weight. Here's how you set goals. Don't write down my goal is to lose weight. Write down, I am happy and healthy at my ideal weight of blank. That's how you set goals. Because now you're painting a positive picture that you're going to move towards. Valerie, I think you had your hand up. Yes, Valerie has her hand up.
Good morning.
Hi, Valerie.
Hi.
Love your shirt. Never settle. Absolutely.
Mega Camp.
There you
Just
go,
got
girl.
it in the mail.
There you go, girl.
I have totally rethought my follow-up thanks to you. Thank you so much. And when I call some expired listings and they say, oh, well, we just rented it out. And so, like I said, thinking the way you think, I said, okay, don't throw away any opportunities because they could possibly, hey, the renter may, flake out on them or whatever. How do you follow up with people like that say I rented the house out? Because I want to keep in touch with them.
That's awesome, Valerie. I'm so glad that you were able to rent your property out. Hey, by the way, I like to stay in touch with my friends and family members, which means I send them interesting information on the real estate market once a month. And I check in every 3 or 4 months just to stay in touch. Would it be okay if I added you to that group?
Awesome.
Right? Now, I am going to put you on the 36 Touch, and I am going to make sure that I reach out to you systematically. And part of that system is I'm going to call you once every 3 months. It's a care call. Hey, Valerie, how you doing? This is John Dietz following up as promised. Just wanted to check in, see how are you doing? How's everything going with your home over at 123 Main Street? Right? Is there anything I could do for you today? If there was something I could do for you today, what would it be? Keep me in mind if you have any questions in reference to real estate. I'm a phone call away. And by the way, if you know of anybody looking to buy or sell a home, I'm never too busy for your referrals. And I'll call you back in 3 months.
That's so awesome. Thank you.
Hey, John.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Valerie?
Yes, Mark.
Valerie, just keep in mind, some investors want to buy tenant occupied properties. So somebody who's got a tenant that's going to be there for a year might be a perfect investment property.
Good.
So how
good point,
how
Mark.
could you ask them about if I could bring you an investor who would pay you top dollar for your home, would you be interested in selling?
Love that. Huge value. Valerie, did you get that? That's worth the price of admission for being on this call.
I'm going to have to replay it because I had a little trouble hearing that.
Yeah, so what Mark was saying is to the homeowner who rented their property out, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, that's awesome. And just out of curiosity, if I had an investor that wanted to purchase your property with the tenant, with it being leased, and I could bring you a full price offer. I can see you were asking $500,000. If I could attract an investor that was willing to pay $500,000, would you want me to bring you the offer? Great job, Mark. Yes.
So I wanted just to go back to what Michael was talking about, in terms of affirmations. And I think it's really important about what you're saying because words matter. in how you say things. I had a coach, Mika Fox, and we were talking, and I was celebrating, you know, losing weight. And she says, "Oh, are you looking to find it?" You know, how you say things matter. And she says, change the way you say things, that you released it.
Love that.
You know, so sometimes practicing your affirmations, writing them down, and looking at the words that you choose. Subliminally, you are saying things sometimes that it's just the habits that we create, and it's programming.
Love it. Yeah, it's 100% programming, guys. And if it's programming, just change the program.
Right.
Stop, erase, replace. Stop, erase, replace. Now, I learned that from Mark Willis when Mark Willis was the CEO for Keller Williams Realty International. And Mark Willis would literally, when he had a negative thought, he would stop and he would tell himself, stop, erase, replace.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Benson. I'm back to you, and Valerie, your hand is still up, so I think that I'm coming back to you as well. Either Mark Benson or Valerie. Okay, both hands went down.
John.
Hi, Isabel.
Hi. I want to say thank you so much for what you do here every morning. I went to a listing appointment yesterday, and the seller said he only wanted to pay 3%. And when I was explaining to him how it works, and then he is also a salesman, so he said, don't close me, don't close me. I know what you're doing is closing me and all those things. And then at that point, when he put the paper down, he said, I'm done. And I had a thought, I said, okay, what will John Dietz do? I said, first of all, John will not walk out of here with that 3%. And I don't intend to either. And then secondly is, if I do leave this property, I'm going to follow up with you forever. So, and then I just sat there, and then we continue and restarted the conversation with him. And by the time I left, he himself had increased the commission without me saying anything. So I want to say thank you to that. And I have a question also.
Yeah.
When somebody is telling you, well, I am in sale, I know what you're doing, I know you're closing me, what is your comeback to that? Because that was taken, I was taken aback a little bit by that.
Yeah, let him know you're not attached to the outcome. I
Yes.
would be extremely direct and say, Isabel, actually, it really doesn't matter to me if you hire me. And I don't want you to take that the wrong way, because I really want to work for you, but I don't need to work for you. You see, if I needed to get your listing, I would tell you anything that you wanted to hear just to get a sign in your yard.
Got it.
Because I'm not going to tell you something that you want to hear just to put a sign in your front yard. I'm not attached to the outcome here. I'm not closing at all. I'm just asking questions. If you list your home with me, it's because you're going to ask to list your home with me.
If you list your home with me, you're going to
Ask to list your home with me. It'll be your decision. I'm not going to close you. Isabel, let me ask you a question. Can I make you list your home with me?
No?
Yeah. No. It's going to be your decision.
Got it. I love that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
just keep in mind that every salesperson loves a good salesperson. So when they say I'm in sales, cool. You're closing. Absolutely. I am. You're using scripts. Yep, I am.
Yeah. And at one point he had said, well, I'm not paying this commission because, you know, I'm not going to make you rich. I said, and I laughed. I said, no, your commission cannot make me rich. And then I think I came across as I don't need that, just like you just said, but I didn't say it clearly like that. I love the way you said it. Thank you.
Yeah, just keep in mind, one more thing on that. You don't have to answer every objection. You don't have to answer every response. Some comments, you just want to leave them alone. I would say put them on the shelf, right? I'm not going to make you rich. I'm not going to have a conversation about that.
Got
Right?
it.
Okay, cool. By the way,
Thanks.
I'm only paying 3%. Awesome. My fee is 3%. Now all we have to do is talk about the buyer's agent. How are we going to attract a buyer's agent? Okay.
Exactly what I said.
Okay.
And then he said, well, you are the one, if a buyer comes in here to bring a buyer, then you have to pay them. I'm not supposed to pay them.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was his logic. That's the way we started.
Yeah.
That's where we started. Yeah.
Yeah. Good job.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right. 9 o'clock. One more. I have a hand. Corey Edwards. Nope. Sean Cook.
Hey John, I was trolling through my Facebook yesterday and saw someone bought a new stove, the same brand that I've got, which I love. And so I was like, posting on their post, and then I asked him because he had mentioned he was moving north. So I said, hey, do you need to sell a house? And he's like, my brother got his real estate license like on Friday. So I chatted with him a little bit more, got his brother's contact. And so how do you like to receive those referrals for, recruiting? Do you just want a quick text with the number?
Text.
Do you want me to
Text.
call him first to pre-qualify?
No. Send me a text. Just send me a text with a phone number. By the way, Sean, on that, get in the door. That's awesome that your brother got his license. I'm so excited. And you're selling your home. So if I had a full price offer, you'd want me to bring you the offer, correct? Cool. Does tomorrow at 4 o'clock work, or would 5 be better for you? Stay in curiosity. Think possibilities. Is it possible that even though his brother has a license, that you, Sean, might be the right agent for the job?
Right.
Is it possible? It is, right? So I can list your property, Sean. That way, you after all, you don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe your brother anything. You certainly don't owe me anything, but you do owe yourself the opportunity to hire the best agent for the job. And I'll gladly pay your brother a referral fee. And then that way your brother wins, you win, and you have the best opportunity to get your home sold. It's just a thought. Okay, cool. All right, guys, it is time to get to work. 20 contacts, not 19, not 18, not 17, it's 20. Remember, close enough is not good enough. Don't settle. 18 contacts is not 20. If the 19th contact was a $500,000 seller that was going to hire you and you didn't get the listing because you stopped, you just lost $15,000. Not making that one more call cost you $15,000. Think standards. 20 contacts is a standard. Every day, focus on getting an appointment, adding somebody to your database, or getting a referral. Standard, one face-to-face appointment every single day with someone who is thinking of selling their home or thinking of buying a home. Standard, follow up forever, no matter what they say. Rejection, and no is not a word that lives in my vocabulary. I'm never gonna hire you. Awesome, talk to you in a week. If I ever list my property, I'm only paying 3%. Cool, talk to you in a week. Follow up forever in order to create emotional proximity, and then write 5 handwritten personal notes. All right, everybody, make it a great day. Go get 'em.
Thank you, John.
Thanks a lot, John.
Yes.
Thank you, John.
I'm still here.
Yeah, Monday, you mentioned Monday, and Monday is Labor Day. So do you
Oh,
want-
yeah, Tuesday. Take the day off on Monday, guys.
okay.
All right, I'll see everybody. I'll see everybody tomorrow morning,
See you at 10.
and make it a great day.
Thank you, John.
Thank you,
Take care.
Hey, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John?